7 years in Panama and then life changed overnight. I had to move back to New York City as a single mom of two. Figuring things out in real time, this channel is changing with me. New York City life, rebuilding, and traveling back to Panama where my family still is. No filter, just real life. Hello, V Squad, and welcome back to another episode of V Girl TV. Welcome back, guys, and welcome back to my canal de YouTube. And I am so happy to have you guys here with me today. I'm in a better mood. No, I did not find an apartment yet, but that is not why I am here today. I know a lot of you have been asking me like, hey, what do you do for a living? By now, I think that you should know that more or less what I do for a living based on some of my shorts and some of the issues that I encountered with one of my son's teachers. So I'm actually teaching at this point right now. To be honest with you, I never thought that I would enjoy teaching. The way I ended up falling into teaching, it was literally because, long story short, when I got to New York, because remember, I was not supposed to actually stay here. This is something that just I accidentally stumbled upon because of the whole situation with my son. If you do not know and don't understand the whole story, because I don't feel like going through the whole gist of it because I already spoke about it, you can go back to one of my old videos and watch the old videos on why I left Panama to get the background story. Okay, guys, so if you see or you hear my little daughter in the background, she's like sitting down right there. Okay, so as you guys know, when I first came to New York, we was originally supposed to go back to Panama, but we ended up having to stay. I'll insert the video so that you guys can get the background history on this. But while I was here over the summer, I was working. So the job that I had was supposed to be temporary. It wasn't supposed to be something that I was actually going to continue staying. I wasn't going to continue working there. I was only working there to just get some extra cash while I was in New York, and then I was going to go back to Panama. Anyway, once I realized that whatever reason, I ended up having to stay here, that we couldn't go back or that we weren't going back to Panama. I'm like, okay, I was just going to end up staying at this job that I was at the moment, but then better opportunities literally arised, right? Or so I thought. At the time, I didn't think it was a better opportunity, but then after sitting back and thinking about it, I'm like, okay, why not? I was working at this other location, this place. It was supposed to be a temporary job. They weren't really paying much, but for the cost of living in Panama, it was just enough. After that, my dad said to me, hey, why don't you be a substitute teacher? I know someone that can get you in to become a substitute. And this is to show you how Panamanian people, we stick together, because the person who actually helped me to get into teaching is someone that I actually grew up with and is also another Panamanian. And I always say that the Panamanians in Brooklyn especially, they really stick together and they help each other out. Panamanian community in Brooklyn is very small, very tight-knit, and for the most part, everyone really helps each other out. So the person who I grew up with, who's also Panamanian, is the one that actually helped me get into becoming a substitute. So I become a substitute. I have a bachelor's degree, which is one of the requirements. I took all the certification and the trainings that you needed to take to become a substitute. And then it took about a month for me to get into actually getting approved to become a substitute teacher. But God works in mysterious ways. And I honestly think that my purpose for being here is much greater than anybody could actually think of. And also it will benefit my future endeavors when I go back to Panama. So once I became a substitute, I was still working at this other place. So I figured, okay, I would work there for 2 weeks and then I would find a position as a substitute. But little did I know, God had other plans for me. Literally the day I got approved to become a substitute, I got a phone call saying, hey, I have a substitute position in this school that you might be interested in. I said, okay, cool. So I'm thinking that it was going to be like just for the day or something. Actually, no. It actually ended up becoming a full-time position. Ended up becoming a long-term substitute teacher at this particular school teaching ELA. When I tell you, I did not think that I would enjoy it. I'm saying to myself, I don't want to deal with these people's kids. I did not think that I was actually going to enjoy substituting at first. I thought that I was going to be dealing with disrespectful kids. And plus, like, I was on like TikTok and I heard all these horrible stories and about teaching, and you have teachers quitting left and right. My experience is not that. And I think partially the reason why my experience is not that. It's because my admin at my school, very, very supportive. They are very supportive. Don't get me wrong. My administration at my school, she doesn't play. They don't play. However, they have high expectations for the kids. And honestly, now that I am now in the education sector, I always knew that education was important. Hello, I'm a college graduate, and I always made sure that my kids did very well in school, and I was very supportive of their educational journey. However, now that I'm in it, I actually can see how, if a child is not educated properly, how that affects them into adulthood. That's a whole nother video. I don't want to get into it. However, I will say that for me personally, I enjoy my job. I enjoy the kids. Even though they're not my kids, they're still my kids. I have some of the kids who look at me and say, hey, you're just like my second mom in school. I love hearing their stories. I just love young people, right? And then on top of it, I feel like this. I have a son. I teach kids the same age as my son. And what I want for myself, what I want for my son is what I'm going to give to other people's kids. I feel like some teachers, and I'm speaking from the perspective of a parent, right? Because I am a parent. I'm also in education. I am also teaching. I feel like if a parent is not involved in their child's education, you can kind of tell. Why? Because and this is not a one size fit all situation, so please don't come for me. But I do feel that in America, especially New York City, a lot of parents are so busy working, they don't have time for their kids. Me personally, I wanted to make sure that the same type of lifestyle or similar lifestyle that I had for my kids, meaning I was there to drop my kids to school. I was there to pick them up. I was home when they got home from school. I wanted to have that same lifestyle. Granted, I don't have the same lifestyle at leisure time as much as I had in Panama. However, the most important thing for me was being able to pick up my kids from school, being there for them when they come home from school, and not having my kids stay with a babysitter or some random person because I had to go to work. And being educated in New York City allows me to be on the same schedule as my kids. I'm allowed to drop my kids off to school, pick them up from school, help my kids with their homework, i.e., especially my son, help my daughter with her homework. Now, although I don't have the same leisure time as like going to the gym and doing those things anymore, at least not right now until I get myself together, I'm still able to take care of my kids and be there for my kids. As an adult that was once a teenager that grew up in New York City and came from immigrant parents, I knew, I'm not saying my parents were bad parents because they are not. They absolutely not, because they did a wonderful job with me. However, sometimes I did feel like my parents were not there enough. And partially the reason why they could not be there for me as much as I wanted them to is because they were working. And I always said to myself, when I had kids, I am going to make sure that I'm always there. Now, when I was in Panama, yes, I was always there because I had leisure. I didn't have a boss to answer to. I was the boss. I could go and come as I please. However, even though I don't have the same leisure here in New York City, because I am working for someone, I am able to still be around more than I would if I had a regular 9 to 5. I don't know if that makes any sense. On top of that, teaching ELA has been such a joy. The creativity process, how writers write, the way words are written, why authors write the way they write, why they use certain words, the language of wording is something that I feel is incredible. And because New York City, not even New York City, United States has a literacy crisis, I feel that there's a sense of purpose. So some of my students, they hate reading. A lot of kids hate reading. But in my class is a little bit different. I feel it from my kids. Although some of them may not like reading because of past experiences, or they may feel like it's too much, I feel a sense of purpose. And I feel like when you are a teacher that is excited about something, you exude that to your students and they actually feel that energy from you. So for me personally, I feel like teaching is a passion that I never thought I would ever enjoy. I think back at it, I'm like, Dag, why didn't I just do this before? But then I realized everything happens when it's supposed to happen. And God has a plan. And sometimes our plans, you never know what the plan is. Eventually, what I do want to do is when I go back to Panama, I do want to open up a school, a bilingual school that is fully English with Spanish as a second language, similar to the school that my son went to, but I want to make it more affordable so that more children have access to such an amazing thing. So my plan right now, while I'm here, is I'm going back to school to get my master's in education, specifically English and also English as a new language. So teaching students English for the first time is a skill that I can use and take back with me to my home country, because as you guys know, I love Panama so much. I will always love Panama no matter where I am in the world, and I'm always going to try to figure out how I can give back to this country, to my country, to my parents' country, to our home country, and where I spent over a decade with my child, my daughter's country, because that's where she was born, and also Amir's country, because this is where he grew up. So that is my plan, guys. I'm very excited for this chapter in my life. As you guys know, I am in school right now, and I'm taking classes right now, which is a lot because I haven't been in school for a very, very long time. However, English, specifically literature, has been an amazing experience. Analyzing information and then using the information that I'm learning again, right? And applying it to my own personal classroom, especially with my 12th graders that are graduating, has been truly rewarding. So for those of you who are wondering, like, hey, how are you doing? I hope you're okay. Despite me still not having a place to call home for myself, I still have joy because I'm able to help and find purpose in my job. So thank you everybody for tuning into my video. You'll be seeing a lot more videos from me now because I have a new setup system. I have a new camera system that I just ordered and I received. Because as you guys know, most of my equipment stayed in Panama and is still in Panama. But this little handy dandy gadget that I'm using right now has been extremely easy to set up. The quality is amazing. So yes, you guys will be seeing more vlogs from me and you will be seeing some amazing things going forward on my new journey as an educator and how I'll be applying that to Panama. Okay, porque tú sabes que mi gente, yo amo mi gente en Panama siempre. Soy panameña, 100%. And yeah, our lives as we transition into this new chapter in our lives. So thank you guys for tuning into my videos. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. And as usual, peace and love.
Good morning, guys. Because I went to school because this I was listening alphabet because it was so fun. Because it was Snorri Cow. Because her was so cute and her fish was so cute. Because I love her so much because her looks so beautiful.
All right, so say thank you guys. Say thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Say if you like this video,
if you like this video,
make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe
to my mommy's video.
To mommy's video.
Say thank you.
Thank you
for tuning in.
To
V Girl TV.
V Girl TV.
Bye, guys.